details about my own land coming out in bits and pieces from this text, from that conversation, from some other old academic, is what got me engrossed into Kashmir. And I really thought this contest about Kashmir, people don't even know today. The questions are raised, Kashmir belongs to us or Pakistan. Where was Pakistan before 1947? And you're talking, which Kashmir are you talking about? You're talking about the Kashmir where Sri Krishna went? You're talking about that Kashmir where Kashyapa went? You talk about that Kashmir which is in Nilmat Puran, where the conversation starts between Raja Janamejaya and Rishi Vaishampai. You're talking about the Kashmir where Abhinav Gupta wrote his texts that qualify him to be the tallest intellectual to walk that land called Bharat in the last 1000 years. He hadn't heard of Abhinav Gupta. I was amazed. Now Abhinav Gupta, I don't know how many of you have heard of Abhinav Gupta. Please raise hand, because there's no shame in this ignorance. It's not because of what you've done to yourself, it's because what has been done to you. Abhinav Gupta, his fame during his lifetime was so widespread that somebody called Madhuraj Yogi from Madurai walked up to Kashmir 1000 years ago to meet this man. Spent 4 years there. 4 years later, he sent his son back to Tamil Nadu. His son's name was Varadaraj. He carried Shiva Sutras along with him, which are the foundation of Tamil Shaivat in Tamil Nadu today. And that's 1000 years ago. 300 years before him, Adi Shankara went from Kaladi, Kerala, all the way to Kashmir, to Sharda Peeth, which is right now in Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Why? Because to Shankaracharya, what was Kashmir? Kashmir was Namaste Ma Sharade Kashmir Puravasini Prarthaye Tvamaham Nityam Vidya Jnanam Cha Dehma. This is a shlok coined by Adi Shankara, an ode to Ma Saraswati, who he says is Kashmir Puravasini. She lives in Kashmir, and I pray to her every day for the boon of knowledge and wisdom. Therefore, this man, who was called Shankaracharya, because he was a prodigy, he was born with a lot of jnana, goes to Kashmir to prove his mettle to his peers in Kashmir, who were the best of that time. And when they acknowledged his intellect, the southern gates of Sharda Peeth were opened. He ascended the Peetham, and there he was declared Jagat Guru. That was Kashmir. So, Kashmir, before Kashmir was Sati Sar. Kashmir, after Kashmir was also Sharada Pradesh, the abode of Ma Saraswati, to the extent that Kashi, which was the very core of our civilization, the holiest of the holy cities, that's another name that hasn't changed incidentally, but Kashi is not a province. Kashi is a city like Ujjaini, like Vaishali. They're also old names. Kashmir is not the only name remaining intact, but as an entire province, there's no other parallel. So in Kashi, for centuries, brahmacharis who studied texts, Sanskrit, attained knowledge at the ceremony to graduate, the Dikshanta Samaroh, would walk 4 steps in the direction of Kashmir, symbolizing that more knowledge hereafter will be attained there. This is the students in Kashi, in the Gurukuls of Kashi. So Kashmir was not just in my lore and my history, it was the source of knowledge traditions in India. I said, what are knowledge traditions? And then I realize, I get to know that the earliest language, Sanskrit, got its grammar from Panini. And where was Panini? Panini was in Swat, which is 100 kilometers as the crow flies from Kashmir. Which is when? 3,000 almost, 3,000 years ago. Patanjali, you heard of Patanjali? Thanks to Baba Ramdev. yoga, I can't tell you this, you know it better. In the Western world, if an Indian pops up and says, I'm from India, the first word that comes to a Westerner's mind is yoga. So you're from the land of yoga. And where does yoga come from? Patanjali. Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. He was born in Kashmir. What else defines us? Not just Kashmir, entire India. Yoga defines India. What else? We have our music traditions, right? Two distinct classical music traditions. One is called the Hindustani classical, another is the Carnatic. Both owe their origin to a text called Sangeet Ratnakar. Who wrote Sangeet Ratnakar? Sharangadev. How does Sharangadev introduce himself? In the Pratham Sarga of that text, he says, Asti Swasti Grahakula Vansham Srimad Kashmir Sambhavam. My Graha, my Kula, my Vansha is from, and he uses the honorific Srimad, like we say, we don't say Gita, we say Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So Srimad is out of reverence. He calls his Janmabhumi with Srimad Kashmir Sambhavam. That's where I come from. So our music traditions come from there. I told you about the Shaiv Mat, that Abhinav Gupta, and Abhinav Gupta did not invent it. He actually interpreted Vasugupta's Shiva Sutras, which had happened 4 centuries before that. Abhinav Gupta was a polymath. He had amazing authority over a variety of subjects. Now, Hindustani classical music I talked about, there are 3 schools you can learn it from today. One is Bhatkhande Vishwavidyalaya, another is Gandharva Mahavidyalaya, and third is Prayag Sangeet Sammelan. These are 3 traditional schools that teach Hindustani classical music. They have textbooks. These textbooks have arrangement of ragas. And where is this? All the 3 have their respective textbooks. They're different from each other. But where do they borrow knowledge, information from? Is Abhinav Rag Manjari, written by Abhinav Gupta. Abhinav Gupta gave us the theory of rasa. Abhinav Gupta was perhaps the foremost aesthetician India produced ever. Abhinav Gupta wrote a treatise on Bhagavad Gita. But these are not what Abhinav Gupta is known for. Abhinav Gupta also wrote Abhinav Bharati. What is Abhinav Bharati? Abhinav Bharati is a commentary on Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra. What is Bharat Muni's Natya Shastra? It is one of the most important texts in Sanskrit literature. A lot of Vidwans say this is the 5th Veda. They call it Natya Veda, not Natya Shastra. But it is so difficult to understand or teach or study it unless you have the commentary alongside, written by Abhinav Gupta. Therefore, I have not read both, so I can't say it with authority, but I have heard from people that this text by Abhinav Gupta is more valuable than Natya Shastra, because without this, Natya Shastra is like a lock without a key. And none of these are the defining texts of Abhinav Gupta. Abhinav Gupta's defining text is Tantra Lok. Part philosophy and part rituals, which is the foundation of Kashmir Shaiv Mat. And I did not know about Abhinav Gupta till I was 40. I was born in Kashmir. I am a legatee. I am an inheritor of that heritage, and I did not know about him. This is what my education system does to me. This is what my society does to me. And what did I study in those miserable 3 years in Delhi universities? BCom honors. It's a shame I did not study Sanskrit. It is, like cooked and arranged, the spread is out there for me to eat. The great cuisine laid out in front of me, and I am not even aware of it. That was the irony.